What's going on, guys? What's good, bros? Hey, welcome to this debate night. Yes, guys, it's Saturday, and I'm starting a debate show. I know everybody been waiting for this fire content. Yeah, so I got Hustler in the building. I got my homie Big Mac, and we're also hoping for Bogart and maybe Fantasy Tyrant to come on, guys. And I know y'all need this debate because we all giving you a different perspective. So listen, if you want to super chat your comment or your debate topic in, guys, I'm down for it. Super chats get first dibs. Also, if you just put the comment in, if we like it, we'll debate it, guys. So if you got any thing that you want to get us perspectives on, just put a debate in the comment section and we'll debate it, guys. So let's go. And I got, who's coming out first? I got my homie Hustler coming on.
Oh, yeah, I'm ready. We've been waiting for this.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Just the first one, guys. Just kind of like a test run. So just let us know what you think about it or whatever. And I got my homie Big Mac coming from Fantasy Headliners in the building.
Yeah. What up, baby? I love that.
What up?
What's good?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So
we already got some peeps in the building, the dough in the building. What up, bro? Out in Baltimore.
What's going on, bro?
So how are we gonna kick this off? How are we gonna kick all this off?
So I guess we'll start off quarterbacks. What quarterback in the playoffs, in the fantasy football playoffs, do you believe will be a league-winning quarterback? It could be like a top-of-the-line quarterback, like a Josh Allen type. It could be anybody. Just throw your 2 cents, and then once you throw it out there, you get the background or reason why you think it, then I guess we'll rebuttal it or we'll confirm it.
Okay, let me start on this one because I've been talking about this guy for a few weeks. Jimmy G. Man, their schedule is so nice down the stretch. They got the Falcons, they got the Titans, and they got the Texans.
We got an echo. Mac, you got any headphones?
Let me give me a second. Is it coming over?
Or you may just have to keep hitting mute. It could be because you're on your cell phone, right?
Yeah.
I think that's why.
Okay. Yeah, let me do that.
There we go. So, yeah, Handsome Jimmy, been talking about him for weeks and weeks, and someone who you're able to grab off the waiver wire, especially in a 1 QB league. I mean, he's readily available. In a super flex league, probably not so much, but if you got him as your second QB in a super flex league, like, you are pretty stoked right now.
Jimmy's okay. I just, with that strong run game, I don't know if they need to depend on him every week, Hustler. I don't know if I would want to depend on him because I feel like Jimmy can have a good game, but if he throw 1 touchdown, don't turn the ball over.
San Francisco's defense, they've been holding it down versus really bad teams, but they're also keeping teams in it as well. And let's see what Jimmy's been doing lately. Okay. And over the past 2 weeks, he's put up 20 plus points.
Mm-hmm.
The 3 weeks before that, he only had 1 game below 19 points. So literally we're talking about in his last 2, 4, 6, 7 games that he's only had 1 game under 19 points.
Yeah, I think he's safe. I think he might be the safest quarterback after the play that won't dodge you. But for me to give me that boom for the playoffs, I don't know. Because I just feel like if they can establish Elijah Mitchell or even Jeff Wilson, I don't think Jimmy's going to have the game that you really need. What you think, Big Mac?
Mitchell ain't playing tomorrow. At least we know that.
True. That's true. That's just for this league. That's true. That's true.
Can you hear me good? It's good?
Yep.
Yeah, so, okay. Jimmy G, he's got a safe floor, in my opinion. But again, Shanahan, that run game, man, that they're gonna dominate the line of scrimmage, in my opinion, and that caps off his ceiling. And Ayuk, Debo not being 100%, I'm just not real. I don't know. I'm just not real confident with Jimmy G. He's not the type of guy I'm looking at to go in the playoffs to win me a game or a series, I should say. My personal pick is somebody like Justin Herbert. I need that boom player, somebody that can give you, you know, he can give you 100 yards with his feet if he needs to, but he's got the weapons around him. Keenan Allen, Guyton, um, Mike Williams has got an up and down, he's had an up and down season, but his boom potential is just superb. And then Austin Eckler, so that offense and that quarterback, that's what I'm rocking with going into the playoffs.
Matt, who would you say somebody that maybe is out there that maybe somebody could pick up on the waiver wire? Give me one of those type of guys. Because Justin Herbert is a guy. I'm pretty sure we all agree that Justin Herbert is a great guy to go in. But nobody probably can get him right now. What's a guy, if you have a guy that we could pick up off the waivers that would be a good guy to go into the playoffs with?
One I really like, man, and this is kind of out there, but it really just depends on because Hurts and his ankle. But I love Gardner Minshew. Gardner Minshew is the type that he can win you some games, man. And if you saw how him and Goddard, that cohesiveness that they had last week, that's going to continue on. Gardner is one of those, he's a gunslinger. Yes, indeed. But he'll also win you some games, man. And I love that about him. I just don't think Hurts right now. He needs a year. He really needs a year, man, to kind of just get everything together. He's got he can win you games with his legs, but he runs first. And I hate the comparison where a lot of people want to compare him to Lamar. That's a whole different subject. You know what I'm saying? I don't think his arm and his accuracy is as good as Lamar's, in my opinion. So Gardner Minshew is a guy that you could probably go out there and get, and he could be a league winner for you.
Okay. Well, my guy that I'm picking, which it's a guy that you get off the waivers, is Big Ben. And what I seen from last week from Big Ben looked like vintage Big Ben. He even talked shit to Tomlin. Tomlin didn't say nothing. And you know what, Tomlin, he ain't you're not just gonna talk shit to him and not think that he's not gonna say nothing. But he knew Big Ben had a point. He's like, man, look, just give me a little bit of blocking, and I'm gonna will us to a win. And so that's why I'm high on Claypool right now. I'm high on Fairview. I think Big Ben is ready to go out here because he know it's at the end. And players that are great, when the end is coming, they do crazy shit. Remember, Kobe dropped 65, right? Like on the last game, So I feel like Big Ben is about to do some 65 type shit, like scoring. And so I think Big Ben is a guy that you could go in the playoffs and could be a league winning quarterback. The far as like just the front loaded quarterback in this season, I think it's Pat Mahomes. I think he's hot. Look, if you got Pat Mahomes, guys, he's hot. This team has finally found themselves. I'm not saying that he's going to have 4 touchdowns every game, but I do know that he's going to give you at least a positive game script, like far as him throwing, giving you a 20-point scoring format in the playoffs. That's what you need from Pat, and I think he's here, so I wouldn't worry about Pat. But like I said, I think Big Ben is like a guy that you can go on the waiver wire and pick up.
And that's where I was going with Jimmy G. So, I mean, a guy who I think is really going to be a league winner, like guys who you can't get, it's going to be Stafford going up against Seahawks, then Minnesota, then Baltimore. I mean, all 3 are some of the worst at the pass D. So, I mean, if you got Stafford, I mean, I forget who, man, someone said Stafford or Josh Allen today. And like without hesitation, it was all Stafford. And yeah, I think he's just going to be one of those dudes. I mean, obviously, if COVID comes in and they don't have some of their guys. That's one thing, but he's already kind of proven whether they have the run game going or not. He can get around 300, get those 3 TDs, and I think he's got a solid floor and a super good ceiling.
Okay. All right. I guess, do you want to go to the comment section or do you want to move on to running backs?
Yeah, we could throw some in. So Claudio, I mean, he's thrown out Tua. Tua's been pretty solid over the last couple weeks.
I agree with that. I like Tua going forward. I've been liking Tua all year. Tua. I think Tua is solid. I think he's a great guy that you probably could find out on the waiver. Maybe not in a 12-man league, but definitely a 10-man league that I think you can stream.
Let's see. And Claudio said Big Ben is too old. I know what TD's saying. We'll see if Big Ben's going to turn it around. He's like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde right now.
Yes, he is. I think he's got the sauce. I love the way he looked, man. I didn't see him throw the ball down the field with accuracy like that maybe in 2 years. So I love the way it looked. That's just all I was saying.
Well, here goes a question from Gabriel to TD. So would you start Big Ben over Hurts?
And y'all can fit it. Y'all can answer this too. Yes, the hell I would, man. That's cutting edge, just being cute, as I call it. But yes, I would. I would start Big Ben over Hurts this week because I don't feel like they're going to use Hurts like that. Hurts' ceiling is rushing. I don't think he has 2 rushing touchdowns. So I would say, yes, I would start Big Ben over Hurts if I had a great supporting team.
You definitely got to add that asterisk in there because Big Ben makes me a little nervous. I think I'm going Hurts. I mean, especially because Gardner Minshew, I mean, you could probably go get him so you can pick him up as a little bit of insurance. Yeah. Going up against Washington, Washington's secondary is ass. Half their team is out on COVID. I know that moving them back 2 games are probably going to have some people, coming back to play. The Eagles are pissed right now. That's one thing that I will say. The Eagles, like, they got that bulletin board material because they're pissed that they have to play versus getting the forfeit. Darius Slay was one of the people coming out talking mad shit. Why do I pay my NFL PA dues if you're just going to lie to me?
Yeah, I agree. I heard this, and I agree with that, too. The game should have been played today. I agree with that. What do you think, Matt?
Oh, yeah, most definitely, man. This whole COVID situation, man, has really put everything in flux, I mean, I don't want to be biased or disingenuous, but I mean, look what we had to go through. I'm still a fan, been still a fan since '83. You know what I'm saying? And look what we went through last year. You know what I mean? All the setbacks and stuff, and we basically played without a bye. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so I ain't feeling it this year. But to kind of piggyback a little bit off what TD was saying, man, I don't think Big Ben. I think he's got this last hurrah, so to speak. The offensive line is not quite where it should be, but I think they can do enough to protect Ben. 2 tight end sets, whatever they need to do. And if they get in the green zone, man, I'm telling you, they got so many weapons. Pat Fairmouth, Claypool, Deontay Johnson's been balling out of control. And, we got a beast for running back. So Big Ben in this playoff stretch could be something special.
Let's see if we got any other comments in here. Okay, so we saw some news that just come in. James threw it out here. Darrell Henderson was activated. So Darrell Henderson, OBJ. Really, that looks like the only relevant fantasy players, all activated off the COVID reserve. So I wonder if it was even foolish for them moving the game back. If a bunch of it was really them changing that protocol that you only need the 1 negative test now versus 2. Something happened with TD. We lost him. You trying to chime in, Mac?
Yeah, maybe his internet came out. Yeah, but yes, just chime in on that Darrell Henderson thing, man. I mean I kind of like Sony, to be honest, man. It seems like he's got a little more burst right now. Last few games, that's kind of a disappointing thing. But still might be like a 60-40 type split. But Sony, to me, seems like he's got a little more burst right now. I would go with him. Go with the hot hand, so to speak.
Yep. Definitely. And especially, I mean, Henderson still got the quad issue. He hasn't practiced in like 2 weeks. Even though we make the joke about Allen Iverson, practice, we're talking about practice. I mean, that shit's really important for the NFL. There's not too many guys who can't practice throughout the entire week and be a big part of the game plan. Only works like that for superstars.
Yeah, indeed, man. You got to have that practice, man. That's just because the cohesiveness of the team, sometimes, you got some veterans who don't really need it, so to speak. But when you got a high-powered offense, and then mind you, that offense in LA is still kind of new, a lot of new pieces and a lot of new faces, you know what I mean? So OBJ, even Stafford, being a quarterback, being new, getting that chemistry with your guys and stuff like that, snap counts, all that stuff matters, So, particular situation like that, practice is important.
What do you think about all the guys getting activated, TD? Really, it was just Henderson and OBJ were the only fantasy relevant players I saw. He's still stuck, TD. Maybe something is up with his internet. Now he's just stuck in the matrix. All right, let's see. Let's see. I'm sure we got some questions in here that we could go to. And the Doe, he said, is that the guy who made the Fantasy Football Hustler theme song? So I mean, I'm the one who made the theme song. It's really just a cut up of a bunch of different songs. Ooh, Claudio mentioned Taysom Hill also. Man, Mac, what do you think about Taysom Hill? Like, he's no Lamar Jackson, but if he's going to average 100 yards a game, I mean, on the ground, like, that's why we really loved Lamar Jackson in the past.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. Taysom is in my opinion, going into the season, I thought he should have been named the starter, day one. But of course they decided to go with, Jameson. That's cool. But yeah, Taysom Hill, he gives you a ceiling like none other with his legs. He's a pure weapon. And by them not really having a quote unquote alpha receiver out there, other than Kamara, basically. Kamara is the number one receiver there. So Taysom Hill kind of gives you that dual threat, and that's basically what they need to kind of keep the defense honest.
Yep. I agree with that. Taysom Hill cost me playoffs probably in 2 or 3 leagues, especially in the Hustler League. I didn't have enough quarterback scoring in the beginning. So my super flex I was weak at, and it cost me a lot of close games, 15, 20-point games, that if I had a quarterback to give me 25, 30, I could have won. And but it's fine. I think actually Taysom will get the starting role no matter what next year. Just it doesn't matter because you can't. It's like asking Tim Tebow. Well, he got beat out in practice. Well, Tim Tebow's gonna get beat out in practice every week. Taysom Hill's gonna get beat out in practice every week, right? He's not gonna outperform Jameis because Jameis is too much pedigree right there, too big of an arm. But in the real game, clutch time, Taysom Hill gives you an advantage, especially with Alvin Kamara. People better watch out for New Orleans coming down the stretch. You got an Alvin Kamara, you got a Taysom Hill. I think that's deadly. Those guys are they're very dynamic. So yes, Taysom Hill is a big quarterback. But I'm sorry, guys, I got off. I didn't know what the beginning argument really was, why you was talking about Taysom Hill.
Oh, someone just asked. We just went to the chat and we were getting some questions, and he just threw that out there. Okay. But so what do you think about the guys who got activated off of COVID, like Henderson and OBJ? You just slot them right back into your lineup?
Yes. Yep, especially on this team. OBJ, I'm playing. The Henderson, I'm not worried. Henderson is done for me for the rest of the year. Sony is going to have the sauce. Henderson just going to come in and spell him, give him a breather. But Sony's going to be a green zone guy, and he's going to be the guy that get multiple touches, 10-plus touches every game from the rest of the season.
Hell yeah. Ha. And LeBron's brain said, I miss being able to play Taysom at tight end.
I know, man. That's bullshit.
TD hated that. I don't play on ESPN for that reason, but I know that I literally when that news broke, I was doing a live stream and I was like, oh shit, everyone on ESPN better go pick them up. Throw them right in your tight end. And I know that helped a lot of people make it to a lot of playoff runs. That's where it started.
Yep.
And let's see. LeBron's brain says, in a perfect world where Connor doesn't play and JD doesn't play, rank these 3: Edmonds, Gibson, Stevenson. I mean, I don't think McKissick is going to play anyways. I'm going Stevenson, Edmonds, and Gibson. That's assuming Connor's not playing.
I'm still not saying that Edmonds is going to get enough role. I think he's give you a safe floor in PPR, but I don't know if he gives you the boom because I don't know how much he touches in the goal line and how good of a goal line back he really is. So I would say Stevenson, Gibson. Y'all know how I feel about Gibson, but Stevenson got the sauce because Harris is out. So I'm not going to be disingenuous to that. And they're going to try to run it down the coach's throat tonight. So I like Stevenson and I say Gibson.
So they just said to rank them. So you'd go Stevenson, Gibson, and Edmonds.
Yeah, Stevenson, Gibson, Edmonds. Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, for me, it's going to have to be Gibson, Stevenson, and Edmonds. And the only reason I put Gibson before that, not only because I'm a huge Gibson fan, but for the fact that the boom. See, right now, like I said, we're looking at boom. You're in the playoffs. You got to get that boom play in, or player, I should say. And to me, out of these 3, Gibson has the highest ceiling for any of these guys. And I agree with TD about Edmonds. They may try to assimilate or just bring him along gradually. Collins still going to get the goal line touches. Evans is more your PPR type, wheel route guy. They'll give him a few, targets here and there, but I can't see him really having a big boom game. So he's last for me.
But Matt, why would you put Gibson over what was the guy? Yeah, why would you put Gibson over Stevenson when Gibson last week he didn't have what? He didn't even have 10 carries.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So for me, again, like I said, it's the boom potential that he has. You know what I'm saying? Ramondre now, he's a stud. But again, it's the question mark of what Bill's going to do. You know what I mean? We all would say, okay, boom, they're going to give him a bell cow roll, and that may not be the case. Hell, Matt Jones might have a huge game. We don't know. Or it could be a defensive game. I think, honestly, this is going to be a defensive game. By them, the Colts not having their Ron Kelly, he's going to be out. The defense is going to be all on their ass, man. I mean, this is going to be – I think it's going to be an ugly game. So Stevenson may get in there and ball control. But I'm saying, as far as if anybody, if you guys are picking people and you need you got to have a big week. Gibson, to me, gives you that ceiling or that potential of a big play. He's just a dual threat. Stevenson is not going to be that. Right now, he's a ground and pound, north and south type guy, which is not.
I disagree. I disagree with that. I feel like Stevenson has actually been a way better pass back than Damian Harris has. And also sometimes he took Bolden out of his game script because they started using Stevenson to catch a little bit more passes. Stevenson's been catching about 3 to 4 passes every week, if I'm not been mistaken, since about 4 weeks ago. So I actually think that's the only reason why I would put Stevenson over Gibson this week, because I actually think Stevenson will catch 5 or 6 balls tonight.
But do you think his ceiling is higher than Gibson's? Gibson has the potential to get 12 balls.
If Washington win the game, do you believe Washington going to win the game with no Heineke?
Well, that's irrelevant as far as the fantasy situation. I'm saying as far as they can lose the game and he can still have a great game. You feel what I'm saying?
I don't think so. I don't think he's had a good game when they lost. I haven't seen it.
But I thought that they moved. I thought them moving back the Washington game means that Taylor Heineke could still be in play.
That's possible. That's why they did. So if he plays, then yes, I like Gibson. I still would go with Stevenson. But yes, if Heineke plays, I'm okay. But you would think that with the quarterback being out, that they give it to Gibson 30 times. But I don't know. I just don't know. So I'm a little bit worried about that. That's the only reason.
Stevenson does make me nervous, even though, I'm really high on him this week. I think that the overhype is getting a little bit crazy. One thing that does suck, you look at their last 3 games, he's only had 2 targets over the last 3 games. One of those games was the shit game where they only had 3 passes, in them. But, we're going to have to see, because Bolden has been getting more targets than Stevenson, but Bolden's also been limited in practice all week too. So I think that this is going to be classic New England Patriots. We think we know who it is, but it might not be that way. I'm still going Stevenson, but I see guys like Andy Holloway from the fantasy football saying, I'm playing Stevenson over everybody in the NFL. I'm nowhere close to that status.
Got you.
And here you go. Let's play a little name game, because we got multiple people who asked Stevenson or someone else.
Okay.
Starting off with David P on Patreon. What up, bro? He said Henderson or Stevenson.
Stevenson over Henderson.
For me too.
Yeah, I'm going Stevenson.
And the Doe, he's a savage. He said, screw it, I'm starting Stevenson over Corduroy, Pimp, and Patterson.
Don't do it, bro. You're getting cute. You're getting cute on that. I gotta go with Cordell.
I'm gonna go with Corduroy also. And he said, or Javante. I'm not starting Stevenson over Javante, even with Melvin Gordon being there.
Yeah, Cordell Patterson is going to give you a higher ceiling, man, with his dual threat ability, and they'll potentially be down 9 times out of 10. So they're going to have to throw it to him. They don't have anybody but Russell Gage. Alameda is the key, is maybe. You know what I mean? Right. So Cordell is going to get he's going to get get that work.
And he said, I'll trust you guys on this one. He did say, he says, I got a big lead at the moment with Herbert and Hill.
Oh, okay, you can get cute. My man, go to get cute, bro.
Yeah, if you got a big lead like that, I mean, I'm not saying you can't lose or anything, but you can be, you get a couple misses, if you hit like that on Herbert and Hill. They set you up for success to start it off.
Exactly.
And what up, Edits? Good looking on the super chat. Another Stevenson one, Javonte or Stevenson. And I'm on the Javonte side.
I'm going Stevenson. If Harris was playing, then I would say go with Javonte. But I'm going with Stevenson. Listen. I know how big. I think Bill is planning on using Stevenson to win the fantasy football playoffs. You remember what he did with LeGarrette Blount? Stevenson got a little bit more sauce right now than LeGarrette had then. So Stevenson's going to be a big part of this team winning in the playoffs. So I'm going to say Stevenson.
Yeah, out of these two, for me, I think Stevenson's the safer floor. Javonte, he's a stud, and he very well may get the reins next year. Yep. But Melvin's still around. Melvin's going to be, that thorn in the side. Melvin's like, hell, I ain't going nowhere just yet.
No.
So I'll go Stevenson.
And the Doe said, nah, I want to embarrass the dude I'm playing. Get it, man. Got to stomp on the neck. Man, and LeBron's brain says I have Mahomes, Hill, and Kelsey in one league. Did some crazy trades.
That's how you stack. Man. That's how you stack. You find a great offense. That's what I believe. I believe about finding a great offenses and stick with them. So yeah, great stack, bro.
And I know you wanted to talk about running backs next. I want to stay on this Javonte train because I don't care if Melvin Gordon is there or not. I think he could still be a top 12. This is the shades of Mark Ingram, Alvin Kamara, Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt. Like, this is like the same type of backfield. They've been running the ball anywhere from 35 to like 43 times a game. Like, they're just workhorse in both of them.
That's true. That's true. I would have gave Javonte some credit, but I think Stevenson just with no Damian Harris, I just couldn't put Javonte over him. But Javonte is nice. But the running back that I like going into the playoffs is Rashad Penny. And I know the matchup doesn't look
plant your flag, TD. Plant that flag.
I know Rashad Penny don't look great going in against the Rams, but I like Rashad Penny. Listen, he always has had some juice. He just hasn't been able to stay healthy. So hopefully he can stay healthy during this little 4-week period for the playoffs and hit. He might have some sauce. And you know how Pete Carroll, and I told y'all about Pete Carroll all year. He wants to run the ball. So if Rashad Penny starts getting some sauce, I think he could be a league-winning running back.
So for me, my running back of choice going into the playoffs, man, is A.J. Dillon. I'm a huge A.J. Dillon fan. So right now, we're looking at the splits, man. It's almost damn near 50-50. Aaron Jones is still a threat, especially in PPR, but it's getting cold. We all know what happens when it gets cold. You know what I'm saying? And then especially those tough games in Green Bay, they're going to use that workhorse, man. And LaFleur, that's what he do. You know what I mean? They got this guy for a reason to wear down these defensive fronts. And A.J. Dillon can possibly win some people some leagues, some championship matchups.
Got to clap back at TD a little bit. Not because I don't like Rashad Penny, because, I mean, he's the type of guy that you want right now. A guy you swooping off the waiver wire, you're able to plug in as an RB2 at least. But one thing that I'm so damn nervous about is how Seattle running backs always get hurt in week 14 and 15. I don't know what the hell it is, but I swear I've had multiple fantasy championships that I've lost in the first round because of a Seattle running back. Kind of like this, where they just come out of nowhere. We can go back to guys like Thomas Rawls. I mean, Chris Carson can probably be in there if we go back far enough. I get nervous about that. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just my PTSD for like losing in the first round of the playoffs. I'm so nervous with Rashad Penny. I'm firing him up in a couple places, but I'm nervous as hell.
Yeah, and it's usually because Pete Carroll barrel-cowed his running backs all year, man. And that's that's why you got Chris Carson. You remember Marshawn Lynch? He was just so damn tough. He could overcome it. So, but Rashad Penny been out the whole damn year.
He's been out the last 4 years.
Yes, exactly. Right. So he's ready to be bell-cowed if he's going to be bell-cowed. So I'm gonna ride that train while it's hot and let the chips fall where they fall. I just feel like he has the sauce. I like he looked explosive even before last week. So I'm gonna trust him. I actually think they can go out here and upset the Rams.
They could. I mean, yeah. NFC West game. I mean, we already know the division plays each other tough. And we got one more Stevenson question for David P. He said, Dylan or Stevenson? This is on Patreon.
I gotta go Stevenson. I like AJ Dillon just like Matt, and Matt, I gotta give him credit. Guys, he was even on Dillon even before I was. He loved Dillon coming out of Boston College. I thought he was gonna be fair, but I gotta go with Stevenson. No Harris. That's all I'm gonna keep saying. No Harris. I'm going with Stevenson. Bill Belichick, when it gets cold, he doesn't want to put the game on Matt Jones' back. But he wants Stevenson to set it up for Matt Jones so he can get play action and get one-on-one coverage on the outside with Nelson Aguilar and Kendrick Lamar Bourne. So yes, I think Stevenson gets 20 carries today, or 20 carries plus.
Yeah, I'm high on Stevenson. I like him. I'm going Stevenson over Dillon, and a lot is just because when they get into the green zone, they may just pump it in with Aaron Jones.
Yeah, again, like I said, I might be a little biased on that one. Ramondre is a great talent. I just don't trust Bill a lot, to be honest. Right now, at least over the past 3 weeks, they've been proving that they're gonna. It's basically divvying up. It started out like a 60-40, but now it's basically 50-50 between Jones and Dillon. And again, for me, especially when they're at home. Once they get up, they're going to ball control. So that means A.J. Dillon time, And then once they loosen that box up, any one-on-one on the outside with Devontae Adams, because eventually he keeps continually get five a pop, boom, boom, boom. They're going to have to adjust. You know what I'm saying? That safety going to have to start coming down and cheating a little bit. And then once Devontae kill him for about 2 or 3 touchdowns, it's over. Then it's just straight A.J. Dillon time. So, I still have to go AJ Dillon.
Well, I'm gonna rebuttal that a little bit, Mac. And the reason why I'm gonna rebuttal that and disagree with you is I've been telling you that Aaron Jones has a front-loaded contract, and by him having a front-loaded contract, they are going to give him patty cake green zone touchdowns, like Hustler was saying, and so that worries me. Yes, they will use AJ Dillon like the way people use in relationships. Yeah, they're going to use that. Oh, AJ Dillon, I'm struggling. Okay, get us this first down. Okay, we got it. It's easy. Okay, Aaron Jones falling here for this little easy touchdown. And I don't like that. That's kind of makes you disappointed when you play a guy and then he gets sniped in the green zone. So to me, I would rather go with Mondre. Nobody who's coming in, Brandon Bolden in the green zone will take Stevenson carries.
Nope. Probably not. Like, I don't see anyone coming in there to take Stevenson's. I mean, I think Mac Jones, throwing it, that could happen. But, I don't think anyone's coming in to steal his touches.
Yeah, Hunter Henry, right?
Yeah. This would be the game that Johnny randomly scores a fucking touchdown. Been off the map for fucking ever, and now he'll score a touchdown right when we don't need him. And David P. said, game's in a dome, right? The Patriots game. Yep, it's in Indy. They're in the dome. And we heard they don't open the dome anymore because one of the last times they opened it, a screw fell all the way from the top and hit one of the fans in the head. So they don't open the dome anymore.
Hit me in the head.
That's what Life and Sports Talk with Jake said. Shit, hit me in the head with the screw.
Yeah, I need a couple thousand.
Hell yeah. Let's see. I know we got a couple, and sorry guys, we're doing a Q&A kind of. We're more debating some things. So if you want to get your question answered, like for sure, just make sure you leave it in as a super chat. I'm doing my best to leave some comments and answers in the chat as well, but we're just a little bit all over the place right now. First we were talking QBs, debating QBs. Now we're debating some RBs.
And we can, if they have the right question, we can debate their stars and sits because we might disagree on some of them.
Yep. Here you go. From my man Derek, shout out to the Islands, bro. Said Gesicki or Goddard. I'm going Gesicki.
I say I'm gonna go Gesicki because of Waddle. If Waddle plays, then I'm gonna go with Goddard. But because Waddle's out, I'm gonna go with Gesicki on this one. I can't trust Goddard with Philly.
So here's my thing on that, and that Goddard actually is my tight end choice when we got to the tight ends. And it's all dependent upon if Minshew plays. I love Goddard with Minshew. You know what I'm saying? Minshew, like I said, he's a heady quarterback. He will take some shots, but if he gets into trouble, he's gonna check it down. And he checked it down a lot to Goddard. Goddard got a lot of targets, and it seems like they developed, a little bit of a chemistry. Even more so than Hurts. We hadn't seen this all year with Hurts. That's one of my biggest hangups about Jaylen. He's an exceptional talent. He doesn't check down on quite a bit. You know what I mean? And his first inclination is when he gets in trouble, he's gonna pick it up and run. You know what I'm saying? Not go through his progression, not look for the open man, especially Goddard. Goddard's one of those guys. Hell, he's the reason why they got rid of Zach Ertz, which I still think that was a mistake because Ertz still got some sauce left. You know what I mean? But for me, it's Goddard, especially if Minshew plays.
And TD, you can comment on this because that's one thing that's kind of pissed me off about Hurts. Like Goddard, best weapon, hands down. Then we can go over to Lamar. Obviously Andrews is doing good, but I feel like the way that Huntley used him, giving him 15 targets in a day, like why the hell wouldn't Lamar do that? Like I understand, you might be trying to go for the big play, versus like Dinkin and Duncan. But TD, can you explain that from a real football perspective? Like what the hell's up with a guy like Lamar Jackson and Jalen Hurts not hyper targeting, their biggest pass catchers?
Well, they are so caught up with trying to be the best quarterback that they can be that sometimes they just forget about, I got a better player on the other side than you do, and I'm going to hyper target him. And so I think Lamar just trying to develop, but I feel like Lamar always plays better when he says, I don't give a damn about all this shit. I'm going to take off or I'm going to throw it to or Andrews. And that's when he started playing good last year. Because I think he's been trying to, and if you want to put this in real football terms, trying to get too cute. Oh, I can pass. I don't give a damn if you can pass. Nah, run it 40 times, Lamar. Win the game. I just want you to win the game. So I feel like he's just trying to prove to naysayers that he can throw the ball. And I always get on to Mac about this. He always talking about Lamar is one of the best. Yeah, I'm going to call you out right now, bro. He always said Lamar one of the best throwers of the ball that he's seen. And I said, bro, you are delusional. Lamar is not a better thrower than Peyton Manning. But that's not saying Lamar can't throw the ball. I'm just saying that I don't want to see Lamar try to sit back and throw it at like 40 times a game. I want to see Lamar run it 20 times if he has to and throw it when somebody's open. That's what I want to see from Lamar.
Let me get in here before Matt gets in here because I know he's got a lot to say. But I think it's bullshit like the shakes that Lamar gets because we've seen him be a decent passer when he has the protection, and I mean, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, like none of them are going to be the passers they are without that offensive line. And then you mix in, I mean, at least for this year, we can't say that the previous years, but no fucking run game. Like, man, we're talking about every single running back on their team right now was either an undrafted free agent or they didn't even play on the Ravens like at the beginning of August, so that's another thing. And then you got no fucking pass catchers. I mean, Andrews, he's your best pass catcher. He's the shit, but not a lot of people go through the tight end, even though they should. They got nobody on the outside. Rashad Bateman shouldn't be a number one. Marquise should not be a number one. Sammy Watkins should not be a number one. They got a bunch of wide receiver 2s and 3s.
Hustler, you hit on a lot of key components, man. That's something that I've always, me and TD talk about this all the time. But here's my thing. Lamar's got the full gamut. That's like for him, saying that he can't pass or just focus on running. That's like telling Michael Jackson, don't get that don't hit that high note. You know what I'm saying? Just stick to, moonwalking and shit. No, bro. I'm telling you.
See a moonwalk. I didn't come to see him. I came to see him moonwalk. He's one of the best moonwalkers of all time. He don't have the best vocals.
Listen, I agree with that, but I've seen him in Louisville. He threw darts. You feel what I'm saying? And people have to understand this man is doing all this without an alpha receiver. Now, Rashad Bateman, we can say Hollywood Brown, all these guys. These are great players. Even Andrew. But he has never had the top tier passing weapons like Peyton Manning, like Pat Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers. You give Lamar Jackson to Devontae Adams and see what happens. That man gonna throw for 4,000 and rush for 1,000 because the defense has got to adjust now. You feel what I'm saying? They don't have to worry about it. They can run cover 2, cover 3 all day long because they're not worried about Lamar throwing it deep or throwing it, you know what I'm saying, a curl or a hitch or any of these particular routes because they don't have nobody that can really run the whole route tree. Not as of yet. I think Bateman will be that guy, but it's going to take him time to develop.
So you think Lamar is on a Justin Herbert type level for us throwing the ball?
I'm not going to say that much because I've seen Lamar go down the field nicely, but I don't know if there's too many people in the NFL that go down the field with as much confidence and accuracy as Herbert.
Exactly. So I'm not going to be disingenuous and say Lamar can throw the ball like Herbert. I think that's a little bit disingenuous. I think Lamar is that's like telling, well, Michael Jordan, he's the greatest player. He can shoot threes like Steph. No, he can't. But Michael Jordan still is the better player. So I would say Lamar Jackson is a better quarterback than most of these quarterbacks out here. But he's not a better thrower of the ball. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't make you a weak quarterback. That's what I'm saying. You got to get out of context. And y'all know you said talk about Louisville. Well, listen. Tim Tebow threw darts in Florida. So that, you know what I'm saying? So that kind of is up to for like debate, right?
So here's my thing though. So we expect Lamar to throw the ball up and go and catch it too. Who you know what I'm saying? It's a difference. Like when your receivers got a 7.5% drop rate, what do you expect the man to do? He can't do nothing but deliver the ball. You feel what I'm saying? They got to catch it. It's on, you know. So this whole debate, the masses talking about Lamar is not accurate. He's not a great passer of the ball. Hell, he needs people who can catch the ball. You feel what I'm saying?
When I feel like the whole Lamar issue is the way that the debates come. We can't compare Lamar to Peyton Manning. They're two totally different players. We can't compare Lamar to fucking Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers. They're just totally different players. Go compare him to Michael Vick. Go compare him to every other quarterback who was considered, a rushing quarterback. And he's probably going to be one of the more accurate passers, that we talk about.
That's true.
And
the only thing I'll say with that real quick, and we'll move on. And like I said, Lamar is a touchy subject for me. But here's the thing. I understand we can't compare them to these guys, but again, all these players that y'all named out, they had alpha receivers. Give this man an opportunity to be able to throw it to somebody who can catch the doggone ball. Then we can talk. You feel what I'm saying? I think it's kind of being disingenuous to say this man can't do this when he hasn't had those weapons since he's been in the game. You feel me? He's never had a number one receiver since he's been in the league. So I think it's kind of unfair to say that he can't throw like Peyton or any of these guys. He ain't never had a Jerry Rice. He ain't never had a Devontae. He ain't never had a Tyreek Hill. You feel what I'm saying?
As Hustler said, we shall see. We shall see.
And I'm not saying that you can't compare him to it, like they're super above and beyond like his level. I just mean it's almost like comparing Michael Jordan to LeBron James. Everyone wants to have that debate, but there's a lot of different variables. That's all I mean, because anyone who can throw a team on his back like Lamar Jackson did in 2019 and win an MVP without he didn't even throw for what, like 3,500 yards and still won MVP.
Yeah.
You can't take that away from him.
That's true. I agree with that. I think I'm with a player like Jordan. They used to say Jordan, he's his own player. I'm not going to try to say his game need to be like anybody. I just want him to get the wins. That's all I compare Lamar to. I don't care how he does it. But I'm not, when you break it down in from levels to levels, I'm not going to sit there and say he's a better passer than guys that all they do is touch pass, right? It just don't make sense to me with that. That's all I'm saying.
I'm about to put you on the spot real quick before we answer this super chat then, because you just said it right there. All I care about is getting the win.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure Tim Tebow, all he did was win in the NFL. So he sucked.
That's one of my favorite players.
But let's hear it, TD. Why are you totally off the Tebow train when all he did was win?
No, I'm on the Tim. That's one of my favorite players. I'm on.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, I love Tim Tebow. Listen, and this is a sport. I'm not gonna get on this because we're gonna move on. But Tim Tebow, I always say that he was better than Cam Newton. That's why Cam Newton couldn't beat him out in Florida. And listen, Cam Newton straight for talent, because quarterbacks doesn't matter all about, I'm tall, I'm 6'6", and I can throw it down the field. Sometimes can you get your players to play in the clutch times to win the game? And that's what Tom Brady does better than Aaron Rodgers, which Aaron Rodgers is way more talented than Tom. But Tom is a better leader, and that's what Tim Tebow was, a better leader of men. So that's Tim Tebow's. It's a travesty what they did to Tim Tebow in the NFL.
Yeah, how do you win a playoff game and you're like cut from the team like the next
against the number one defense in the history of the NFL? Because they had the number one. At that point in time, they had less points than anybody in the NFL history. That Pittsburgh Steelers team, they had 3 or 4 Hall of Famers. Matt knows he's a Pittsburgh fan, so
got him though. Damn.
Yeah, money. Hey, get on the line, bro.
He said he's doing some family stuff. He's doing some family stuff, but hopefully he could get in soon. And said, how is Bateman not a number 1 wide receiver? Come on, JC Money. You know he's not a number 1 wide receiver right at this exact moment. That's what we're talking about, not potential. Because, yeah, he wouldn't be a number 1 receiver on that many teams other than the Ravens right now. All right, we got a super chat from Team. What up? Said, Njoku, Komet, Uzama, Moreau. So, is this a 2-part question and then Pittman or AJ Green? So I'm assuming we're picking one of these tight ends and then one of these wide receivers.
Okay.
I'm going Njoku. Raiders have been pretty ass against the tight end spot. And I'm going to go Pittman, even though the matchup isn't the best.
I'm going to go Njoku too. I've been on Njoku. I made a video on him, guys. Go check it, my video out. I talked about him. They've been lining him up a receiver. I think this is how you use Njoku. He's a great athlete, but he's not what you call I don't think he knows the route tree like they want him to in Cleveland. But I think he's a great athlete, and you have to get him out in space. So I'm gonna say Njoku, and I'm gonna say AJ Green. And I've been high on AJ Green. I think he still has a chance to finish as a top 24, especially with D-Hop going down. I told people he's not too old. So listen, AJ Green, I think he's gonna have a good game this week, and I like Njoku.
Yeah, for me, I like Njoku. I just, with the quarterback situations in flux, I'm not a Baker fan anyway, but even if he was able to play, it's a chance that he can get it to him. You know what I'm saying? Uzama, for me, I love that offense. That Cincinnati offense, man, is very, very underrated in my opinion. I think they're finally starting to click at the right time. So again, what I'm looking for, yes, it's a safe floor, but right now you got to throw everything on the line. So it's all about that boom potential. And Uzama for me is got that boom potential with that offense. And then the second part of it, I'd say AJ Green, because I agree with TD on that. By Hopkins being out, I think that target share is going to drift over a little bit to AJ Green and Ertz, preferably. Kirk is going to get some numbers too, but between for this particular question, I'd say AJ Green.
Man, I hope you guys are right because I got AJ Green in a few places.
Me too.
And Lucius throwing in the super chat said, great discussion. Lamar or Jimmy G this weekend. And I'm leaning Jimmy G because we still have no idea if Lamar's even going to play.
Yep, that's the only reason why I'm going to go with Jimmy G. I don't know what Lamar's going to do, and I don't know if I even want Lamar to go out with a hobble leg. So I'm going to just say Jimmy G regardless.
Yeah, Jimmy's a safe guy, safe play, of course. But like I said, look, Lamar suits up, I got to go with him. Not just because, I love Lamar in general, but because of the potential that he brings. I don't think, they're going to force him out there, and I don't think Lamar is going to risk, messing anything up, especially his contract coming up. So he's not going to put himself out there and mess that bag up. So if Lamar suits up and plays, and he believes that he can go, give it a go, give it 110. So if he plays, I'm going Lamar. But if not, yeah, Jimmy G's a safe play.
And guys, I want to remind everybody, make sure you hit the like button as you come in, guys. Let us know that you like this type of content so we can continue to do this. So make sure you hit the like button on me and Hustler's channel. And also, guys, go follow Matt at Twitter. Matt, go ahead, shout out your Twitter handle real quick before we move forward.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. It's Matt Galloway 34. Again, it's Matt Galloway 34, and then you can also go to the Fantasy Headliners at Fantasy Headliners. And you can follow, any of the guys on there from Jake, Kyle, Chris. It's a bunch of good group, good community, man. I just love interacting with, all y'all guys, man. I appreciate TD and Hustle letting me come in and, chop it up with you guys.
Hell yeah. And look at what LeBron's brain said. Lamar looked like the go to throwing against the Colts this year. And I went and I pulled up the stats just to make sure that I got it in here. He went for over 400 yards in that game. Went for 440, 4 touchdowns. Also led the team in rushing, 62 yards on the ground. And what do you know? He hyper-targeted Mark Andrews, 11 receptions that game, 147 yards and 2 touchdowns. It was also that game when Marquise Brown got off.
Yep. This Lamar just had a bad season, man. He killed me in a bunch of leagues. That's the main thing. Just this year was just a bad year. That's all.
And Nigel said, hot take, give Bateman and Hollywood to Aaron Rodgers. I think the QB makes the wide receiver better before the wide receiver makes the QB better. Well, if you take Devontae Adams off of that, those are just the two. I mean, a guy like Aaron Rodgers, his game is just a little bit different. So I'd agree with that and say that those two would get an uptick. But really, I think Harbaugh, it's kind of like Pete Carroll, just stuck in their ground and pound ways, and they're not evolving too well with the pieces that they have right now, even though they are in first place in the division.
Yep.
LeBron's brain says Tebow leads his team after a drive, and Cam takes his helmet off and gets a penalty when he leads the drive. All right, well, let's see. So you want to get into some wide receivers?
Yes, we can.
Let's see. I'm going to let you start off on that. I got to think about this one for a sec. Look at some schedule.
So my wide receiver that you should be picking up, guys, I'm pretty sure he's already picked up, but a guy that if you have him on your team where I think you should feel great, and I think he's a league-winning type of playoff fantasy wide receiver in fantasy football, is Hunter Renfro. I said what I said. Hunter Renfro. Listen, I haven't been, because I'm big on guys that can score from 70 yards out. So if you're not fast, you don't make a lot of big plays, I can be dismissive to you. So I have to apologize to Hunter Renfro right now. But Hunter Renfro, you got the sauce, bro. And you're the next slot receiver, and you coming for Cooper Kupp. Yes, Mac, I said what I said. He's coming for Cooper Kupp. You see what the boy has done the last 2 weeks? So if you got a good quarterback and they're going to spread the ball out and they're going to do different than John Gruden's scheme, because John Gruden's scheme doesn't fit Hunter Renfro. But in a pass-happy scheme, Hunter Renfro could lead the league in targets. I said what I said. He can lead the league in targets. So listen, guys, Hunter Renfro, you got a league-winning type receiver. Roll him out there no matter what. I don't give a damn mostly who it is, because especially in PPR. Standard, maybe not. But in PPR, he's probably a top 5, top 10 wide receiver, in my opinion.
Hey, so real quick on that, I love Hunter Renfro. I think he's a great PPR guy, no doubt. But he ain't no Kupp. I gotta rebuttal that real quick. You feel me? Now listen again. I don't think their cohesiveness is great, but it really depends going forward. See, Darren Waller is the key to this. With Darren Waller out, this is, giving a little more carte blanche to Renfro. You know what I'm saying? And it's basically like a safety net for Carr. If Waller was in there, I think we'd be having a different conversation. I don't care who you put in that offense with Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp won't come out number 1 regardless. I don't care who it is. You know what I'm saying? Because him and Stafford just got that chemistry, man. And to be honest, man, he's one of the greatest route runners in the game, man. I think Cooper Kupp route running is very, very underrated. You know what I'm saying? So
are you sure it's better than Renfro, bro? How you seen Renfro with the same routes that Cooper run? He's making people fall, bro.
Listen, I'm not saying he's not a superb route runner. You know what I'm saying? But you gonna sit there and tell me that Renfro is guarding the same type of defense that
if you swap Hunter Renfro out with Cooper Kupp, let's just do that in a vacuum.
Right.
Why is Hunter Renfro not gonna do what Cooper Kupp do? What kind of acclimates the Cooper Kupp guy other than the chemistry with Matthew Stafford and having a better team?
Separation. Cooper Kupp's separation is phenomenal, man. You know what I'm saying?
Look at those numbers. I would love to go see the perception reception. I would love to see that. I think
Yeah.
Hunter Renfro separate a little bit better than Cooper Kupp right now. I really believe that. I stick by that. I want to see the numbers.
I feel you, but again, like I said, I think in the vacuum, if we're looking at it, Renfro is now getting a lot of those targets that Darren Waller left on the table. So I think that's where it's kind of skewed a little bit. Not saying that your vision isn't, because I know I trust your eye. But what I'm saying is Cooper Kupp, I don't care. See, this is Sparty and OBJ. You got Van Jefferson. You got all of these other weapons around him.
I'm going to pull up right now.
Say it again.
You're about to put up reception, perception, your shit. That's your shit right there.
Yeah.
Pull it up right now.
DK, I'm gonna use it against Cooper Kupp.
But then let me see if they have new ones on here from like this season, because that's what makes a difference.
Yes, it does. Or Pro Football Focus probably would have something like that too. Let me look. Let me look myself.
Yeah, Hunter Renfro. I mean, he's doing good right now. We know that he is. A lot of it's what Max said. I mean, it's Waller not being there. That makes a big difference.
And seeing opportunities. Yeah, he hasn't had the opportunities because his pedigree wasn't Waller's pedigree. So now that he's showing them, Waller's not going to get those same targets going in with a new offensive coordinator. It's not John Gruden anymore. So if a guy comes out with a spread offense, I feel like Hunter Renfro is going to be like the number one guy on this team that you would target in fantasy football.
So, I mean, it's going all the way back. It's going all the way back to 2019 with this.
Okay.
But give me 1 second, because I'm going to break it down for you. But at first glance, Cooper Kupp is definitely ahead of the pack there with those two.
Okay.
Hold on. Where is it? There we go. All right. So it's 2019. So, I mean, this is 2 years ago also. So Renfro versus man coverage, 61%. 61% completion rate. And actually, I guess he does a little bit better than Kupp in man coverage.
Okay.
And well, wait. Hold on. Okay, so man, I guess I just get confused the way that they have this, because I think the percentile, I think the higher the percent, the better it is, I think. And it looks like right now both are better, both are good versus press, but it looks like Cooper Kupp a lot better versus press.
Okay.
Zone looks like Cooper Kupp is a lot better at zone, and then man. Yeah, it looks like Renfro's got him on the man-to-man, so I guess it just depends on what kind of coverage is going out there. Both similar, though. Both similar.
But then you also got to look at the quality of it. I mean, those numbers are great, sure enough, but we talk about the quality of personnel that's on these guys. You know what I'm saying? So man coverage, zone, all that, but Cooper is garnering that number one every time. You feel me? So I think that's got a lot, and I think it pretty much accentuates his numbers just a tad bit more because of the quality of coverage that the coverage that will garner the Cooper Kupp faces.
And we're just going to mess with TD's pick just because I can. Why not? We're just debating here. So his next three matchups, these playoff matchups, he's going against all three teams are giving up, like they're in the bottom half of giving up points to wide receivers. Obviously anyone can overcome anything, but we're playing the numbers for the entire season. And all three of these teams are giving up usually lower performances to wide receivers and higher performances.
Yep. And that doesn't matter to me because of Hunter Renfro being in the slot. That's why Cooper Kupp is so good. I mean, he's never seen like an outside type corner and got that type of pressure. But I'm reading right here where it says, it's an article. It's through it's called the RaidersBeat.com, 2021, and it's saying that the third in Renfro hype has been around for a while, but the legend of Renfro really took off in joint practices this year when he apparently twisted up All-Pro quarterback Jalen Ramsey like a pretzel.
What up, JC Money?
Hey, I just wanted to come on real quick. It's 420.
What's going on, brother?
So I wanted to pop on real quick, say what's up to my bruh.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Shit, we got Christmas going on this weekend. So it's a fam. What's up, man? I'm JC.
Hey, what's good, man? Big Mac here. What's good?
Nice to meet you.
Yep.
And David P on Patreon, he said, waiting on the super draft recommendations for tonight. Sometimes I don't get it. So we're going to be hopping back on. The game starts at 8:20 Eastern time. We're going to be starting like an hour before that, answering some questions, going through some super draft pro lineups just to make sure we got all the ins and outs for the game. Yeah, and we got to get Big Mac on that super draft pro too, because I know everyone at the headliners would be on it if they found out about it. Because
I told him that. I actually got him. He signed up. He's trying it out right now. And I told him to go ahead and turn them on because you want to be on that before they actually get that sauce and start like giving it to their content. That way he'll be on the head of everybody on that. So tell him, Matt, you can speak for yourself on that.
And there's a lot of new stuff coming too. Their sportsbook app is growing. There's a lot of cool stuff coming. There's some pick'ems coming. There's a lot of cool stuff for like all sports.
Yeah, I mean, I've tried it out, man, for about a week or so now, man, and it's an exceptional app. Like I said, it's ahead of the curve. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a good situation, man, no doubt.
And it's growing, really, really fast. It's crazy. Some of the beta stuff, I've already got to test some beta shit, and there's some new shit coming out. It's bomb.
All right, LeBron's brain. He said, I don't know if you answered this, but Dak or Hill, MetLife will have 10 to 20 mile per hour winds. I mean, I like Hill with the ground game.
Yep.
That's really not that much. Remember how bad those ones were? They were like 30, 35 mile an hour. That's the shit you want to worry about. 10 to 25, 10 to 20 is nothing.
And Nigel said JC Money stands for Joint Clause Money.
Appreciate you.
Let's see who else we got. And T Money kept telling me, he said, "Don't fight it, just hug Renfro. Just wrap your arms around Renfro."
Yes,
you know what? I just don't like the Raiders that much that I'm not going to give him the the respect he's due. It takes him having to get the clipboard, write up these plays so he can call. That's how garbage the Raiders are.
He's like, "This is how we used to do it in Clemson. Let's do this."
Guys, remember I said it now. Hunter Renfro is next year's Cooper Cup.
I mean, I might be okay with something close. Not that aggressive, but
being the white slot wide receiver, slot wide receiver, I'll give him that. He's Cooper Cup if that's what we're
better about. Quarterback.
I mean, I think if you want to, kind of simulate as far as in a drafting aspect, I think he'll be a great guy that you can get, in later rounds that can produce, exceptional numbers. That's the only way I can. But as far as I can't see him reaching Cup ceiling. Man, Cooper Kupp is going to break some records this year. So imagine what he's going to do next year with, this is a full season with Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford has shown, he bombards his number one receiver. He's done it throughout his whole career. You know what I'm saying? So I think this trajectory that him and Cooper Kupp is on, man, we might not see this for a while. You know what I'm saying?
And give Hunter Renfro his opportunity. Give him his opportunity for a new offensive coordinator to come in there and say, listen, Josh Jacobs, we're not giving it to you. We're not running the ball 80% of the time anymore. We spreading it out. We spreading Wall out. Wall is going to be used like Kelsey now. And Hunter Renfro is going to be targeted over 12 times a game, bro.
I got to remind everybody about how often they keep drafting wide receivers because he's been there for a few years. Like, they obviously don't want to give him a shot. It took Darren Waller having to get hurt multiple times. It took Ruggs, getting to all that drama, where he's not even on the team anymore. It took a lot to get Hunter Renfro back, and I don't think the Raiders like him enough to not draft anyone or not go after another wide receiver.
Imagine if Renfro was playing with Adams and Rodgers.
Yeah, it'd be nasty.
Fuck yeah, it would be nasty.
I bet you the Raiders will give him a deal. I bet you that hustle. I bet you they don't let him go to another team. I bet you that.
And it's probably because, would he take a hometown discount? That's really what it would come down to, because he's probably going to be worth whatever more than they sign him for. But does he have the balls to bet on himself and hit free agency?
I think he would be all right.
I think he would be all right too. I think he
especially with how he played this year,
especially with the new TV deal coming out. I think he would get a nice lump sum of money.
Just depends on where he goes. What if he tries to, hit free agency and ends up just taking a deal with the Jets, like Corey Davis or something, did it just ruin his career, over getting a little bit more money?
I think
And I don't know if Corey Davis is ruined, but it was
All right,
bad.
y'all. I'm out of here.
All right,
We'll talk later.
Yeah.
All right. Peace out, JC Money.
What's going on, bro? What's going on, Hernandez?
Here's a good question. You guys expect A.J. Brown back next week? Hell no. I wish.
What they saying? I haven't heard any news lately.
I haven't heard anything about him yet.
Yeah, I think he'll be fine when he comes back. I think they just want him to get 100% healthy.
Are you playing him though if he comes back in week 17?
It just
like
depends
fantasy?
in the playoffs. It depends on what I got. Now, if I got players and I can't find the right example, but if I got like Stephon Diggs and players of that type of caliber, then no. But if I have Terry McLaurin, no, I might start AJ Brown over Terry McLaurin, especially it depends on the matchup.
Hell yeah. I got A.J. Brown in a handful of leagues, and I just want him to get back. That's it. At Second Take Extra said Jaylen Smith revenge game is tomorrow. TD, talk about that. Jaylen Smith just got swooped by the Giants. What is he gonna even come in and play?
Yeah, he probably is gonna come in and play, but it doesn't matter. We forgot about him. We got Michael Parsons. So it's just like if I get a girlfriend and I get like Margot Robbie, I'm not worried about the girl that I left. I got a bad girl. She bad. So I'm not worried about no Jaylen Smith. You sloppy seconds, bro.
Why I gotta be Margot? Why can't it be Jimmy? You know what I'm saying?
Because Margot the GOAT right now. She's the GOAT right now.
Nah.
Let's see. Second Take Extra. Will the Cowboys go to the NFC Championship game?
That's easy, bro. You know I want you to keep that same energy. I've been telling you, you rolled me them 2 weeks when my boys lost, and I told you we're not worried about that. We just worried about winning our division. We trying to go to the playoffs. We ain't trying to go undefeated. That's overrated. We trying to go to the Super Bowl. So remember that, bro. Keep the same energy. The Cowboys all the way.
Man, I can't wait to see TD's energy week 2. Week 2 of right after that wild card week, man. TD, you better hope. They might go up against the Rams. Who
I'm
else?
not worried about none of them. Only team that I'm worried about is maybe Tom Brady. Other than that, ain't nobody else in the not Patriots, but the Packers. And the only thing that scares me against the Packers, because we got Michael Parsons for Aaron Rodgers. So Aaron Rodgers, you're not gonna be booting out none of that shit. But what I'm worried about is A.J. Dillon. A.J. Dillon, he makes them a Super Bowl team. Not because I like him. It's just because he can change the game where Aaron Rodgers can hand it off 25 times. And they can beat you in a snow game in Lambeau. So that makes me a little bit nervous. We don't have a great run game. But if Aaron Rodgers thinks he's going to go back and try to get cute, going to Devontae and discount double check, no, that shit is not going down with Michael Parsons.
I want to see that game. I want to see the rematch of the rematch of the catch. I want to see it, or the non-catch. That'd be awesome. Especially because TD wouldn't like it, because that's like the one team I know he doesn't want. Nobody wants to see the Packers when it gets cold and going into Lambeau.
No, I don't. Especially with A.J. Dillon. No, I don't.
I know you didn't put the Cardinals in the mix, but like no matter what, you're having to go through the Cardinals, the Packers, or the Bucks to get to the NFC Championship, and then you're going to face the other one in the NFC Championship if you happen to get there. I think the road's going to be tough through the NFC.
It will, but D-Hop is gone. If D-Hop comes back, then yeah, but listen, the Cardinals need D-Hop very bad. I don't know how people know that. AJ Green, if he comes up and goes back in time, then yeah, they could be fair, but they need D-Hop, man, because Kyler's small, so sometimes he needs somebody that he can just throw it up to, and they can jump over 2 guys. If he don't got that, if you contain him in the pocket, and then he can't take a hit from Michael Parsons, it could injure him because Kyler, he's small, he's a small guy, and Parsons is a beast, man. So you don't want him getting sacked a bunch of times with Parsons.
And so what they gonna happen? I'm sorry, man. I just want to jump in real quick on that. In my opinion, with the Arizona Cardinals, man, what they need to do, they got to spread it out. And that's the offensive mind. They love doing that. But Rondale Moore's got to get more involved in this offense. If you can get Rondale Moore and Christian Kirk involved, I think it's going to be kind of tough. Parsons is a phenomenal talent, but you know what I'm saying. But you got to spread their weapons out. You know what I mean? Make them spaces big. Make him make decisions. You know what I'm saying? And Kyler can pick it up and go. You know what I'm saying? So if they can do that, spread the offense out, a little bit, I think they got a chance.
I don't think. I mean, are they better with Hopkins? Like, hell yeah. Like, he's like a top 5 like wide receiver in the league. But just like Second Take Extra said it right now, do the Cardinals need D-Hop? And we'll just put need in capital letters because I don't think they need him to like make it to the Super Bowl or make it to the NFC Championship. I think their defense has been good enough. And Kyler, he's just putting the world on notice right now that he's one of the top QBs in the NFL, like not just fantasy football, because I think we're all hyped on his fantasy, him being one of the best, but he's proven to be one of the better QBs in the NFL right now.
Yep. I agree with some of that.
Here you go. Second Take Extra. What's the worst coaching hire of all time? Urban Meyers. I said it. Dumbass signing by him. Or Jason Garrett. I'll do it so TD doesn't have to. Jason Garrett to the Cowboys or the Giants.
Well, he was okay. It wasn't the worst. The worst hire, I would probably say Jim Zorn to Washington, maybe. That was terrible. It was like the players was like doing their own thing and shit. Like it was bad.
I say Gase, Adam Gase, man. That's terrible. Like Charles Burns, terrible.
Yeah, it's been horrible for them. I don't even know how they've gotten to the fucking playoffs 2 years out of those 4. Chip Kelly to the Eagles. That was bad. That did not work out at all.
Chip Kelly did a really good job. I think he couldn't evolve his game. You got to evolve every year. You can't just sit there and run the same damn play. This is not college. You can't run the same plays every year. You got to evolve. So I don't think he evolved.
Let's see. Yep. Robert saying Matt Nagy. Hell yeah.
He's been to the playoffs twice with Mitch Trubisky. That's gonna get him another job.
Yeah. Not if the right people are interviewing him. Ronald said, I think Chip Kelly to San Francisco after they saw him in Philly. Okay, there we go. So doubling down on Chip Kelly. We already knew he was bad, and we still brought him over here.
They did it for Colin Kaepernick. They tried to say Colin with him.
Yeah. And Second Take Extra said, who's getting that number 1 seed in the AFC? This is a good question.
I say Kansas City Chiefs.
So I honestly think it's going to be the Patriots. And I hate saying that too. They got the Colts and the Bills coming up in these next 2 weeks. And then you got the Jags and the Dolphins to finish it out.
For me, I think, man, I hate to say it, but KC, the way that defense is coming along right now, oh my gosh. And the offense, it's always been there. They just had some inconsistencies. I think, a lot of things going on with Pat Mahomes. Can't quite figure out what was going on with him. But now the defense is starting to play a little bit better. So I think KC.
Yeah, and Robert said the Pats. I mean, it's going to come down to it. KC, I mean, they only got 3 games left as of now. They got the Steelers, they got the Bengals, and they got the Broncos. And what's the records as of right now? Chiefs are 10-4. Patriots are 9-4. So if Patriots lose today, it's already looking good for the Chiefs.
Go to some MA questions. It's starting from the beginning, Hustler, if you don't mind.
Let's see.
It's MA. He should be. He got the wrench beside his name.
Look for the timestamps. Can you look and see the timestamps on there, and then I can find it a lot easier.
Let me see. Let me click the thing. No, it doesn't have that on my side.
So look on StreamYard if you can.
Okay.
Because there's a grip of comments in here, so it's tough to kind of filter through all of them.
Okay.
But I want to get everyone's questions pulled up if we can. Sorry if I found one. I found one here.
Okay.
There we go. From MA. Flex 1, Stevenson, Higgins, Penny, or OBJ, PPR?
Let me see. Stevenson, Higgins. I'm going to say Stevenson. I'm going to say Stevenson.
I'm going the same.
Yeah, that's a tough one, man. Because I'm kind of in flux or in between Stevenson and OBJ, to be honest. I think OBJ has got the boom potential. I see a lot of cohesiveness the last 3 games with him and Stafford, man. So if I had to just throw one out there, I'd say OBJ, especially in PPR. I just that's a safe floor and he can give you that boom potential. I'm like I said, man, I love Stevenson, love the talent, but I'm just a little leery about what Bill's gonna do. I'm kind of afraid. I don't know what he's gonna do.
Don't overthink it. The talent is there. Don't overthink it.
I think Bill overthinks it. Another one from MA. Flex 1, AJ Dillon, Penny Edmonds, or J-Rob, PPR. I'm going Dillon on this one. It's pretty damn close. All these guys are like right in the same group to me.
It is. It's a great question. It's probably the question of the day for us making the decision with starts and sits. I would say I want to say Penny, but Green Bay offense is so efficient. I'm gonna go with Penny, man. I'm gonna go with Penny. I don't feel great about it, but I'm gonna go with Penny. He has it by himself. I don't see anybody taking his goal line touches unless he goes down as injury, which is very, very valuable. I mean, which can happen because Penny is Penny. But I'm gonna say Penny, but it's close to AJ Dillon, man. So trust the gut. You go with whoever you think between Penny and AJ Dillon.
Yeah, for me, again, I think Dillon's lead the pack. But again, this is a great question. Very, very close. I love J-Rob. I love the potential volume increase that he's going to get now with the change of regime. I think I've been hearing a lot of talk that they want to get him involved and everything. But AJ Dillon is probably going to be, again, he's attached to a better offense. He's going to have better opportunities in the red zone. So yeah, I'm going Dillon.
Let's see. Here's another one from MA. Goddard or Fryer Muth?
Fire up the Muth.
I'm going the other way. I'm going Goddard because Tennessee has been super stingy against the tight ends.
Yeah, I love Goddard again. Like I said earlier with Minshew, but Fire Move, man, and this is not me being disingenuous because I'm still a fan, but Fire Move is a huge red zone target. Matter of fact, I think he leads the tight end group right now in red zone targets. So I got to go with Fire Move.
Man, TD, you got a bunch of non-disingenuous or trying not to be disingenuous on the on the show. I like it. Let's see. Is that the last of it from MA?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yep. Then it goes to a lot of second tape.
Okay, let's see. Austin up in the building. What up, bro?
Yep, guys, I appreciate everybody. I see it. Y'all like this, so we're gonna be doing this again. And like I said, we're gonna be sharpening things up and getting probably a little bit more efficient. Right now, we just kind of filling it out and seeing like how to do this. So, guys, thank you for everybody tuning in. Make sure you hit the like button on both channels, guys. And yeah, make sure you stay tuned and watching to get this watch time up for me too. Also, guys.
All right, and let's see.
What's good, bro? What's going on, Austin?
Yeah. And T Money said, pro tip, whenever you guys got a toss up on guys, always pick the guy that has the better offense. I mean, that's where I kind of lean because the touchdowns, I mean, that's going to be king at the end of the day.
Yes, I go to that a lot, but that's not always like my go-to thing to split the hairs. Sometimes I like to go with the value over 1 or 2 opportunities with a great team. Sometimes I like to go with the value and just get, like, if you get 25 carries, sometimes I'm going to take that over 12 carries.
And Austin said, can't wait for the game tonight. Hell yeah. And we're going to be starting a stream about an hour before the game actually starts. I don't know if TD can make it, but if you can, you're more than welcome, bro.
Okay.
We can get it on your channel too.
Okay.
Let's see. And Ronald, hit it right on the head. My pro tip is go with the player who you think is going to score the most points.
Love it. Like it.
Second take extra. What's next for Urban Myers? I just assume a lot of strip clubs.
I don't know, man. I want him to get his face back. I really like Urban Meyer. I thought I wanted the Cowboys to hire him 3 or 4 years ago. But I think he needs to learn how to treat NFL players. I think that's where he missed the boat at. I don't think he know how to talk to grown men. You can't talk shit to grown men. You have to try to either give them. Even Bill don't argue. You ain't never heard Bill arguing with anybody. He don't argue with you, so you don't argue with grown ass men. They gonna always rebuttal that, bro. They're not gonna go with it because they make money and they got kids. And they don't want to be talked to condescending. So I think he might get another opportunity. I don't know if it's pros or college, but I think he will get another opportunity.
You think any of these college teams are gonna fuck with him after the way that they're treating grown men, and now they know that he probably already acted this way with some of these college kids?
Who knows? Imagine if you are NC State and Urban Meyer wants to come there. Why would you not hire him? You don't got nothing else for your team. You don't got nothing else getting excited about. So I do think it's some lower mid-tier type college teams that would love Urban Meyer to come in and turn their franchise around with young kids.
Yeah, I mean, his name value alone, in spite of all the the dark cloud issues that he's had here recently, so what he's gonna have to do, he's gonna have to go on a PC type of venture. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna have to do a lot of public engagement type stuff, get his face back, like T said, and then it's gonna be a university out there that will hire him just for his name. You know what I'm saying? And then that in turn will help recruit and bring in a lot of talent. And he's an offensive minded. Again, I just don't see, some guys don't make the transition well, going from the college scene to the pros. You can't be out here kicking grown ass men, man. That ain't gonna work. Especially you kick the right one, you're gonna be in trouble. You feel what I'm saying? Look, he kicked Josh Lambo. I ain't saying Lambo.
He knew who he was kicking. He knew who he was kicking. Why did he go kick Marvin Jones?
Right. So, but again, like I said, I think he's still got an opportunity, and I like to see. I'm a firm believer in second chances, man. I want everybody to get a second chance, second, third, whatever the case may be. But I think he could bring, something to an organization. But he's going to have to right some wrongs, so to speak.
Yep.
And Robert said, "You see, he didn't kick any defensive linemen. Yeah, you already know he didn't kick any lineman's ass because all they had to do is sit on him, and that's it. He's a little toothpick compared to them."
And it'd have been self-defense too. He kicked somebody first. You don't kick nobody. What the hell wrong with you, bro?
Yeah, and he said, "What if he kicked you, hustler? It's over, man. It's over." For no reason. I don't even know how bad Josh Lambo's kicking percentage is right now, but it better be really bad to come up and start kicking them.
Exactly.
And David P says McDonald's is hiring. They probably don't even want him. He's a bad look on their company right now.
Yep.
Yeah, and T Money said Urban Meyer going to take a year off. Yep, on a PR tour. Yep, just like Big Mac said, and maybe land a job in 2023. But it ain't going to be one of these. I mean, I don't even know if any top 10 schools even have any openings in the next year or so. But yeah, he's definitely going to have to. What were you going to say? Because he always talks about being a winner. He's definitely going to have to lower that winning standard a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Maybe he gets a job at Boston College or something, right?
Yeah. And Doe said, who did he kick? He kicked Josh Lambo, the kicker, and told him, "You dipshit, start making your kicks," and then kicked him while he was warming up or something, for practice.
Yeah. And Josh I keep saying Scobie, and Lambo told him, said, don't fucking kick me again.
Yeah. He's lucky he did it to Lambo. Especially a guy like that. I would have just went, caught him with the sideways Bruce Lee kick or something. Man. Oh, man, Urban Meyer's such a bitch. Who will coach the Jags next year? I have no idea, but they seem to like to make splash plays with their signings lately.
I love the owner. I think he's trying his best to try to level this team up. If he just because he went to college already, he might not go back, so I'm fine with that. But I like Byron Leftwich. I think he's fine. You need somebody to come in and groom Trevor Lawrence. That's the most important thing.
I'm gonna tell you, man, in my opinion, and this is a hot take, and this might be way out there, he might not even do it. But I think Deion Sanders would be perfect, especially for that area. Bringing in that type of talent, Deion would be crazy, man, if they was to bring him in there. Like I said again, I don't think he would leave his situation where he is now because he's got a lot of control and everything like that. But Deion, with all his Florida connections, man, it would be stupid.
That would be dope, and that would be like the type of signing that they would go for. I don't think he's going to do it because of that Jackson State, stuff that he's got going on right now, but that would be a dope-ass signing if they got him there somehow.
Yeah, he can't do the kids like that because that would break what he was building. He's building something bigger than like money, right? He's building some trust with kids leaving Alabama and leaving LSU and going to Jackson State. So if he switches up, that's going to ruin it for a long, long time. Kids is not going to want it. I'm going to come to Jackson State and now I'm getting coached by somebody I don't even know. Like, I need Dion to be there if I'm a top recruit, right? So Dion is actually in a better spot than the Jacksonville coach, I would say.
Yeah, and they got who the hell was it that they got a 5-star wide receiver?
Yep.
And isn't that like the first like 5-star recruit to like ever go to Jackson State?
Yep. Well, it's not the best player because Jerry Rice and those guys. Yeah, but yes, as far as a recruit coming out of high school, hell yeah, it's one of the best. I think it is the best.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Because Jerry Rice. I don't know what he was coming out of college, but he wasn't even a first rounder. Coming into the NFL. So. MA said, can the New England defense shut down JT?
Hell yeah. This is Bill Belichick. He's going to take away JT. Now, I'm not saying JT won't get a goal line touch, but he's going to sell out for that, and he's going to make Carson Wentz beat him. That's why I love T.Y. Hilton as a sleeper this week, and as in the fantasy playoffs.
What do you think?
I'm sorry, man. I didn't interrupt you. Just to piggyback on that, like I said, I think New England's defense is going to really, show out tonight. Especially, like I said, Ron Kelly being out, center is huge. You know what I'm saying? Calling plays at the line, this, that, and the third. You can't just plug and play everybody, and especially against a Bill Belichick type of defense. So, yeah, I agree with TD on that. It might be some trouble for him tonight.
And let's throw some predictions out. What do you think for JT? I think he's still going to throw down between 80 and 100, and I think he is going to get 1 TD, but I don't think he's going to have a lot of passing work at all. So I don't think it's going to be that top 3 running back performance we're used to seeing.
No, I say even 50, 60 yards with 1 TD. Bill Belichick is not going to let him get going. Carson Wentz going to have to throw the ball 35 times this game plus. So I say JT 50, 60, and then hopefully he can have 2 tubs to save his fantasy week because they, throw it deep and they get down by the goal line and then they run it in with him on like a toss. And he's still good, so he still can score because he's a beast down there. And they got Nelson. Nelson, the best offensive lineman in the game. So I just think it's a Carson Wentz game to win.
And Austin throwing out 64 and a TD for JT.
I agree, Austin.
Yeah, that sounds about right. But don't count out Naheem Hines. Naheem Hines can have a nice PPR type game tonight. JT, like I said, they're gonna try to get him going, but Bill gonna take him out. You know what I'm saying, or at least try to. We gonna say he ain't Derrick Henry yet. You feel me? So he just can't do what he want to do, have his own way. But I look for Naheem Hines tonight.
And if you, obviously, you're probably in the playoffs. If you're listening right now, I think a real sneaky move is if Naheem Hines is on the waiver wire, go pick him up just before this game, especially if you could drop people like after they already play. Because I'm gonna try to pick him up in every league that I can. Everything stays fine with JT and all that. I'll probably just cut him tomorrow. Yeah. But you got to make those kind of moves like right now, just in case.
I agree with that. That's how you play fantasy, especially in the playoffs. Go get backups right now. If you got room, you got guys that you ain't gonna play, go get a backup right now. Go get a guy that can possibly take over and start. I'm trying to think, what's a guy that's out there?
Really, it's just tonight's game. That's really all you'd be looking at tonight. You could get people before that, before the Sunday's game. But Brandon Bolden. He's someone I might be looking to swoop tonight, even though he has been limited, all week with his knee injury. If you play in an IDP league, I really like Brandon Bolden because he gets tackles on special teams. Yeah. But if you don't play in an IDP league, you don't get those tackles. Second Take Extra said, will Mac Jones throw the ball 3 times? At least 3 times. I'd say 3 is the minimum that he'll throw today. Yeah,
he's going to throw it. So coach is going to do the same thing. They're going to load up on the box, and they're going to make him beat him one-on-one on the outsides. So I say Mac Jones is going to have to win this game, and I don't believe he can. That's why I'm taking the coach tonight. I don't think he's going to be able to win the game. If he can, then I'm going to have to move him up there as a top 12 quarterback. This is a Jobu game for Mac Jones. How good are you ready? And listen, he has a bad game. I'm not going to say he's terrible. He still is a great quarterback as a young quarterback. But if he goes out there and they put 8 men in the box and make him throw it and he can pick them apart, then I'll say Hustler's right. New England is going to the Super Bowl. They might be the number 1 seed in the AFC.
And Austin said, wait, who is this who made the Headliners intro song?
That's him. That's him.
Yeah, that's me, baby.
Who else we got here? Did OBJ make the right decision?
Yes. I would have went to Kansas City, but that's me just being biased because I thought he would have been great with them. But yes, he went to a top of the line quarterback. He can't play at this point in time. It's like Allen Robinson. These guys, it's not fair for these guys to play with developmental quarterbacks. They too old for that shit, right? They need some guy in the body that can pepper them and bombard them with targets, as Matt said. So I think he made the right decision going with a top caliber quarterback. As long as he went with that, it doesn't matter the team.
And the Doe said the kids go crazy every time that song comes on, or the wife. There we go.
Yo, appreciate that.
There we go. Robert said, hey, that is him. I like that intro, Mac. There we go. So we kind of made it to the end. What do you think, TD?
Yeah, I think we did everything. If we could go through tight, if y'all want to do tight ends for the last one, then that's fine.
Can I say Travis Kelce?
Yeah, you can say Travis Kelce because he hasn't really been doing like awesome like that. But yeah, you can say Travis Kelce.
Well, one thing that I will say, I mean, it's tough to take a victory lap over Travis Kelce, but there was so many people like week 13, week 14, like, oh, I hate Travis Kelce. I wish I never drafted him and all that. And we still shouted out. He was still number 2 tight end in scoring. Like, I think that everyone their expectations were like, he's got to go for 2,000 yards and 20 touchdowns or he's a waste of a pick. But I told you guys, you don't sit Travis Kelce. Just let him, just let him win you a championship. Unless you're playing against him like Austin is. He doesn't like Travis Kelce right now.
Yeah, and I was in what I said in the beginning of this year. I knew Travis Kelce is Travis Kelce. He's a beast, but I wasn't going to draft him and expect him to go and boom as a tight end and be a top 5 wide receiver as a tight end. Like that's asking too much for a tight end that's 30 years old. So I was just moving on and going to another guy. And I can get later. That's why me and Hustler, we had a great debate yesterday. And he was saying that I'm taking Travis Kelce after the top 5 picks. I'm taking Travis Kelce. And I'm like, no, I'd rather take Tyreek Hill and get Kittle going into the second round. And he said he'll probably rather take Kelce. And then if he wanted to go wide receiver next, he would be okay taking Diggs. I wouldn't. I think it's too many other good tight ends to try to put all that pressure on myself and Travis Kelce to be a top 5 wide receiver. Because I'm not going to draft him and try to expect him to be there at 30 years old. And there's people also figuring out Kansas City the way they run their plays too.
Yeah, so for me, again, like I said, I love Goddard, especially if Minshew plays. But Ertz is another one, man. I think Ertz going forward, especially if D-Hop's going to be out, Ertz is going to see a lot of green zone targets. He's got sure hands. We've already seen that the chemistry between him and Kyler, is there. So I like Ertz going forward.
The guy that I like, I would say, is Kyle Pitts. And, I guess you say I'm holding on to everything I can, but I like Kyle. Because listen, you got to look, got to figure out the way rookies play. Later in the season, rookies get hot and they win leagues for you, like Cam Akers, Justin Jefferson. Kyle Pitts, he had 70 yards last week on 6 catches. He's going to have a boom game. I'm going to keep squeezing. It's tight end. If it was any other position, then I would have dropped him and moved on. But it's tight end. Roll out Kyle Pitts. So Kyle Pitts is the guy that I'm rolling out, and I don't give a damn about what he puts up. I'm just trying to make sure that all my other positions are, bell cowed out.
And Ronald said, I always did think that song was a bit cooler than Jake and Kyle. Makes sense now.
Yo, I appreciate that. They're my homies too, though, boy. Jake and Kyle, I love them. They're my boys. But yo, I appreciate your respect, man. No doubt. Appreciate it.
And let's see. Dog said, would y'all play Peoples Jones over Myers?
Yes.
I don't really want to play Myers here, so I think I would. You taking a shot on any of these Patriots wide receivers tonight?
I am personally. I'm taking a shot on Nelson Aguilar, because that's how you beat the Colts is on the outside receivers. They make you throw to the outside receivers on that cover 3 scheme. So I think Nelson gets a big play, but I'm not playing them for like a bunch of targets. Like that's me being cute. So I'm not telling anybody to start Nelson Aguilar. But if I had to play a guy out of that group, it would probably be Nelson and then Kendrick Bourne.
Yeah, I like Bourne, man. I think Bourne has got that potential to have a boom game. He's a sure-handed receiver, man. He's actually starting to come on, and he's actually another one that may be a steal in next year's draft. So just have to keep an eye on him.
Austin said, "What's Mac's thoughts about Najee? Impressed?"
Don't cap now. Don't cap.
Yeah. So look,
cap.
Yo. So we'll have to continue this because this is a debate that me and T have had going forward. But here's the thing, to kind of touch on it a little bit, T, because I know short of time and everything. We had a situation where he asked me that I think that was a good draft pick. I didn't think so at the time because I thought, here's the thing, being a Steelers fan for years, especially dealing with fantasy implications, we've always had a top 3 running back, no matter who it was. And I felt like we should have shored up that offensive line. You know what I'm saying? Because look what James Conner's doing right now. James Conner's balling. We could have had that in Pittsburgh, but that's neither here nor there. But going back to the question at hand, yeah, I love Najee is a great talent. He's an exceptional talent. I think he's doing well. I think he will continue to do well with us going forward. So yes, I like Najee.
And I just got to throw this in because it's a little disingenuous because we're so short of time. But he said that he didn't care if Najee rushed for 3,000 yards. They shouldn't have drafted him. And so I get it. I get what he's saying because he thought they should have go get an offensive line and help protect Big Ben. I get that. But sometimes you got to go get something that you build them for the future for. They know they need to build for the future. So they seen a great running back out there. They went and got him. So I told Mac, if he goes out here and he wheels y'all to a playoffs, and as a rookie, then it was the right decision. He was like, no, I don't care what the hell he does. He still with the right decision. Don't care if you go out there and break records. So that's why I said don't cap about. But we'll move on. This is a later debate.
So yeah, and look, and I hold true to that. You know what I'm saying? Again, like I said, I think he'll do well. But hell, we was 11-0 last year without him. You feel me? You see what I'm saying? But Big Ben stayed in shotgun 90% of the time. You can't do that. And the only reason he had to do that because he's got to be allowed at least 3-4 seconds to get the ball off. You feel what I'm saying? But with an offensive line where he can line up the center, we can play more play action. I think that helps with the running game. We'll see. But like I said, now the offensive line is starting to shear itself up a little bit. But if we had addressed that early on this season and in the off season, I think we'll be far better off than we are now.
Najee's the man, but yeah, when you got a line that's as bad as them, I mean, it sucks. I mean, I'm not saying it's a waste of a pick. It's going to be good for the future, but I don't think Najee really helped them too much this year. I think there's other pieces that could have helped them more.
Don't feed him into that shit, man. That's bullshit. That was a great pick, man.
No, I mean, I'm not saying. I mean, Najee is a good pick. I mean, he's a good pick almost on any team. But I didn't think that the Steelers should have went running back. I mean, yeah, James Conner, is there a difference in talent from Najee to James Conner? Like, I'm sure there is. But if I was a running back, I wouldn't want to play for the Steelers right now. Not the way that they've been treating their running backs. Because you're just going to cycle through them. So Najee, yeah, it might be there for 2 or 3 years. But, if the line's really bad and they're rebuilding or whatever, like what if the offense is nowhere near what it is next year because they don't bring in Aaron Rodgers or a Deshaun Watson? Like, do you imagine who do they got over there? Who's the backup?
No, he's not going to be there. I refuse to say that. Mason Rudolph, I refuse to say that. Because I'm not even, no, you can't do that to Deontay and Freiermuth and Claypool and Najee. You can't do that. So, bring somebody in, Kirk Cousins, somebody. It's a lot of good quarterbacks out there that you can put in there, and I think this offense would be well, and I think Najee would be well with them. But no, they don't have anything. If they don't bring in another quarterback, you're right. It will be in vain what they did. I agree with that.
And for everyone leaving questions, we're getting ready to shut down the stream, but we are coming back at 7:20 Eastern time. So we're going to be streaming for the hour before the game and then streaming maybe the first or second quarter as well.
Yep. And guys, going forward, I'm gonna let these guys plug their handles. But going forward, guys, this is something that we might be doing on the Saturdays, every Saturday for the rest of the playoffs, and also in the off season, we might be doing a debate on Saturday night. So guys, just let us know. Go to the comment section and let us know what you think about this, and if you have any advice, we're open-minded, guys. So I like I said, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. And this is going to be something that we're going to be doing more consistent. Go ahead, Hustler. Go ahead and plug in your stuff.
Yeah, so just go hit me up at fantasyfootballhustler.com. You guys definitely want to get in on Patreon. That's the VIP community that we're building. We got a bunch of leagues that are about to be starting. We're starting with the NFL Playoff Fantasy League. So just think, week 18, that's the end of the season. Week 19, the first week of the wild card for the playoffs, that's when we're starting these leagues. Drafting is going to happen from Monday all the way to Friday, maybe Saturday early. You guys want to get in on this. These are some fun-ass leagues. We had 9 of them last year. It's a big 3-week tournament. And I'm going to make sure that fantasy is not ending. So, yeah, just go to fantasyfootballhustler.com, click on the top link for Patreon, and that'll reserve your spot in at least one of these NFL playoff leagues. $30 buy-in. We're keeping it cheap so everyone can play.
Yes, sir. And go ahead, Matt.
Yeah, hey, and again, I appreciate this, fellas. Y'all, I appreciate the opportunity, and I'll be looking forward to coming back again multiple times, man, and keep doing this thing. But yeah, check me out on Twitter at MattGalloway34. That's my Twitter handle. You can check me out there. Then go to fantasyheadliners.com, and we got a lot of programs on there, and I wrote a lot of great articles on there, and there's a lot of guys on there, man. Know their stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? So just check us out, man. It's a community, man. It's all love. We network together, and we're gonna make this fantasy football thing be what it be. You feel me?
Yep. And also, guys, go sign up for Super Draft Pro. Guys, there's going to be a lot of things coming on there, and you want to be ahead of the curve, or you want to be in on this before we actually get a lot of these things going, because you don't know what's going to change as far as like the opportunities and the price. So right now, guys, if you go sign up for Super Draft Pro, we got invites for certain tournaments. It's going to be crazy, especially in the offseason. It's not going to end when football is over. We're going to be doing basketball, hockey, golf. We're going to poker, whatever you do, guys. It's going to be an opportunity on there to win money. So make sure you go sign up on Super Draft Pro. The link is in the description. Also, guys, go to my OnlyFans. Listen, this is going to be the last year that it's going to be $10 a month. I'm a growing channel. So as I grow, guys, I'm going to be putting more content on my OnlyFans. I'm going to be doing listener leagues. I'm going to be doing some dynasty leagues. So you want to make sure that you sign up there for the $10 a month, and you grandfather clause in for life. Because I'm probably going to be putting like content on this like worth $30, guys. So you want to be in for the $10. Also, guys, go find me on any social media platform, Fantasy Good Sports with no spaces, cutting edge content there. And guys, we're going to be doing this again soon. So thank you for everybody tuning in. And we'll holler at y'all later. We're going live later, and we're going to do some stars and sits and some super draft lineups.
Hell yeah. See you guys later.